every day that I live where I'm not in pain, not suffering, don't have to do anything that I don't want, I'm not a slave, every day like that is a true blessing. Every day like that without restriction allows me to truly explore what this world has to offer, what this life has to offer. And I know that this was the way that we are intended to live. And I know there's a bunch of things you can say, like, even though I'm relatively free, I'm still stuck in the matrix to some degree, right? Like, stuck in the matrix. Because we use the fiat system, blah, 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 blah. I get it. But the point stands. And the feeling stands. And I'm only 26. And I'm saying only because within this context, most people don't even get here. Most people never fucking even think these things. Even when they're 70. They start to think, they start to retroactively, is that the word? They start to think about what they should have done, what they could have done, what they would have done. And they start to think about things like freedom and identity, expression, the things that I am doing. I'm not thinking. Okay, I've been thinking. But I'm doing them right now. I'm living them. That's the key word. I'm living this. I am living my life. Do you understand that? So many people live a life. They live a life. Do you understand the difference? Sometimes you have a test in school. You have multiple choice. Or is that a bad example? No. See, these prefab houses? It's kind of like in the Netherlands, like a lot of houses, they look very much alike. If you start living in a certain neighborhood, you can't really design your own house that much, okay? There's like some regulations about, the neighborhood has to, have some sort of cohesiveness with the way it looks. Anyway, the point is, some houses, like a tiny house. Imagine buying a tiny house. You're basically buying something that is already made. So it's a multiple choice. So you're buying someone else's house. You're buying a house. You're not making a house. If you apply that same logic to life, because whether you want it or not, you design your life. Okay? You create your own reality, however the fuck you want to say it. My life is a custom drawing. Everything is thought of, Every single thing I designed. And I keep fucking going. I keep iterating. I'm never satisfied with the house. There's always something to improve. And in this case, the house is my life. And that is why my life is fucking awesome and cool. And that's how I know it. This is the way it should be. And I'm not saying like my life is the best life of everyone. I'm saying that the way, principally, the philosophy, the way I'm looking at life, the way I am customizing it, customizing the experience to my own preference. I'm tweaking the knobs to my own liking. And that principally is how life should be lived. I'm not living a fucking preset. of someone else. Oh, you want to be a lawyer with this much and this, like the rest of the lawyers. You understand? That is a life. That is a life. That is not your life. And you think that you're so special because you name your dog Steve instead of Frank. That's the only knob you're fucking able to, change. And that's my point. Anyway, that's just an expression of gratitude, really. And it might sound a little like arrogant, whatever, because you get relative, but I have to get relative to explain the difference. Because a lot of people think like, oh, that's kind of what I'm doing. No, it's not what you're doing. And I can say that with confidence because, I've been around. I've been around the world and talked to people. And if that is, then congratulations. And maybe it's not for everyone. I don't know. All I know is that living life like this, and not even saying like, oh, my life is so fantastic, like it is, but living life like this, again, like principally, it's just so liberating because you can do anything right now, And that's what I've been thinking. Okay. Another thing. I actually wanted to make an episode for this topic, but I don't do episodes anymore. It's just live streams because I like the idea of live streaming because it's like a performance, right? You can't reverse it. I can't record a live stream and then be like, "Oh, this ain't it. I'm not uploading this." It's always uploading, like right away. I don't have to explain how a fucking live stream works, but yeah. So what I experienced about a week ago was very interesting. I was sitting at the table, looking over at my mother, who was standing in the kitchen. And she was talking to me, I was talking to her. And I thought to myself, one day, this thing I'm seeing right now is going to be a memory. And I have direct access to that memory right now. Do you understand? Every moment could become a memory, will become a memory if you remember it. If you assume you'll remember, every moment will become a memory. And that really struck me. And I was like, whoa, I have access to my memories from the future. And then I realized, wait, I have to do the exact thing that I would wish I did when I think about this memory. Do you understand? I guess this is kind of a way of saying like, oh, you have to make sure that when you're on your deathbed, like you have the least amount of regret. But that sounds plain and boring, and we've all heard that. But this is kind of flipping it, right? It's kind of like saying like, hey, this very moment will be the past. This will be so long ago. One day you're going to look back at this moment. I'm going to look back at this live stream and be like, that was legendary. That was epic. Right now, it's just right now. It's not special because it's right now. It doesn't have the sense of scarcity because it's right here. But the further away it's removed from you, the more scarce it feels. It's like, wow, that was something. But it's only because it's so far removed from you. That just makes it feel like scarce. It's like, wow, I wish I made more videos. I wish I made more photos because this is awesome to look at, you know? Go look at yourself, at a picture from yourself from like 20 years ago. You'll think the same thing. At that moment, you had an infinite amount of access to record stuff. But there's only a few pictures. And the few pictures you have, what the fuck's happening? And the few pictures you have, you hold on to because it's rare. And you can apply that same thing if you just flip the idea and say, you know what? This moment will become a memory. What would I wish I will have done? What will I wish I would have done if this was a memory? And that just, I did exactly that. So I just started hugging my mother, And now, that's the memory. And I'm happy with that memory. And I'm going to hold on to it forever, as long as I'm alive. So no, I didn't wish I did that, because I did it. And isn't that so simple? Isn't that so simple? Okay, not to get arrogant about it, like I'm the best guy ever. But actually, is it that difficult? Just take control. Just take control of things, and you can live a life without regret. I don't know. To me, it doesn't sound that complicated, But yeah, it's truly just a matter of perspective. You can look at things in every way possible. It's really not that difficult. But yeah. I guess that's it. This was a pretty good stream. That's all I had to say. So